Greetings, beautiful people of God. This is Prophetess Rivers with another word, another message. Today, I want to talk to everyone about letting the Spirit of God reflect no matter what. And the reason why I say that is because I was getting my nails done the other day, and me and the lady that was doing my nails, we were just having a regular conversation. She would say something, and I would be like, "Yes, ma'am." She would say something else, I'd be like, "No, ma'am," or I would say, "Thank you," or something like that. And she asked me, what's my nationality? And at first, it kind of got me, and I was like, I'm black. And she was like, "No, are you mixed with anything because of the way that you talk?" And I was like, "No." I wanted to say I'm Negro and more Negro, but I was like, "No, my nationality is I'm African American." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Well, because of the way you, not just the way you talk, but the way that you carry yourself, it's just something about you." And at first it kind of caught me off guard because I was like, what is it that she's trying to say about me? What is it that I'm carrying on me, or what is it that she sees? Ooh, it's windy out here. Sorry. What is it that she sees on me? And she was like, "Oh, it's just you could tell you have a good heart." And I was like, "Okay, well, to God be the glory," like that. And then the more and more that we kept talking, she was like, "It's just something about you. It's just something about you that I really can't pinpoint, but I like it. You look like a lovable person." And the more and more we kept talking, I was like, "Well, I'm a minister." And she was like, "A minister?" I was like, "A preacher?" And she was like, "I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was something about you. I just knew it." And I was like, "Well, why would you say that?" She was like, "Because you can just tell." And that moment when she said that, I was like, wow. I didn't want to boast in anything that, sorry, I didn't want to boast in anything that I was doing because none of the glory belongs to me, but it all belongs to God. But I say that because no matter where you are, the Spirit of God should always rise up higher than any situation or anything that's going on in your life. He should rise up. The Spirit of God to trump out everything in your life. And I thank God that it wasn't me that she saw. She wasn't caught up in my clothes or the way I wanted to get my nails, even though my nails was a little up there in price. She didn't get caught up in that. It was the Spirit of God that was inside me that made this woman want to know more about me, to the point where she was like, "Well, where do you preach at? Are you from here? Where did you come from?" She wanted to know all these things about me. And it made me think about the story with Ruth and Naomi, when Naomi was like, when Ruth was like, "Where you go, I go. The Lord you serve, I'm going to serve that same Lord." And it made me be like, wow. And then she asked me, "Can I ask you, as you being a preacher, what are you? Like, what is your denomination?" And I was like, "I'm Baptist." And she was like, "Me too." And I was like, wow, even though she's a different nationality than me, way from the other side of the world, for her to be a Christian and want to honor God and the way that she has a love for God, it was so amazing, to the point where everybody around us she began to tell everybody, "Oh, she's a preacher. She's a preacher. Did you know she's a minister? Do you know she's a minister?" I went in there to get my nails and my toes done. And the pedicure for $2 to $5. She said, "We're gonna give you the one for 50 because you're special." I said, "Just make sure you don't charge me for the 50." She's like, "No, no, 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 no. We're gonna give it to you because you're special. So we want to give you the special one for the hour one on your feet." It's like, when you walk with God, really, really walk with God, not just on a Sunday or on a Wednesday when you think people are paying attention, but you're walking with God day in and day out, God will find favor with you. And when I say that God will give you favor, I mean, she didn't charge me that $50, and I'm glad she didn't charge. Ooh, the light. Hold on. I'm glad she didn't charge me that $50, because it's not that I didn't have it. I didn't ask for it. But God will give you things that you even don't ask for. So what I'm saying is, despite of what you see in the world and people saying that being a Christian ain't cool, going to hell ain't either. But I say this because I didn't act a certain way. I didn't put on a persona or nothing. I was just me. And the person that I am in the inside is who God has called me to be. And I thank God for that. So I don't even know if there's going to be a title for this one. God might give me the title later on. I don't even know if I got a question of the week for this week. But it just made me feel good. And I would just say that this is just a daily testimony that when you reflect God, even though it might not look like other people see it, people do see it. And it lets them know that your God is real and you're real. Oh, and besides that, she was caught up on me being so young. Yeah. She was like, "Oh, but you're so young." I get that a lot, but you can never be too young to turn to Christ. You can never be too young to say, yes, God, I'll do your will. But for her to say that to me, it was just amazing. And I give God the glory. I give him the praise, because when you really let the Holy Spirit lead inside of you, it'll do wonders. Remember, I love you, God loves you, and all that you do, give God the honor, glory, and praise. To God be the glory. Now let me